So we're doing background vocals today, so I'm looking for my producer Scott Mathews, and here I am where we normally do our vocal tracks, but as you can see he's not here, so I'm gonna look around, see where I can find him. He's not in here with the guitars, still not around anywhere. We're coming to the control room, still don't have him. Oh, wait a minute. Any excuse to get out of the office. Well, any excuse to get out of the office.
Outside, man. We're supposed to make a record inside. Got the studio in there and stuff. I'm just out here singing in the sun. Come on. Just about to go surfing, as you can see.
That's a gun.
You can plainly see. I'm not sure if it's going to be Mavericks today or a little bit of a, you know, we'll go up north.
Good for you.
I'm Scott Mathews. I get the opportunity to go to the studio with Tim Lang and make beautiful music. Hopefully you like it. I do. He does. And it's over to you.
First question, what does post-surf mean to you?
Post-surf means to me, as we sit here in 2013, actually I was fortunate to work with some of the pioneers of surf music. Produced 3 Dick Dale albums. I would say he's probably well, he calls himself the king of surf guitar, so I'll go along with that. He's not one to argue with. Even made an Endless Summer record with the original Sandals, who did the 1966 documentary with Bruce Brown that we all know and love so very much. In 2006, we reloaded that soundtrack for a new recording of it for the 30th anniversary. We had a big party and reunion of all the cast and crew, and it was amazing. So I guess you can say I'm old enough to go old school with surf, and then of course all the Beach Boy years that I've had and still continue with Brian Wilson. So if it's post-surf, I hope we're still in the surf. But I think it progresses as music and we as a culture does, and represents the true place we're coming from, which is still surf, but it's post the origins of surf music.
What makes a well-produced album?
Staying out of the way of the direction that the songs want to go in, and allowing for them to reveal themselves. That's sort of the key to my production. It kind of runs the gamut from being on one far extreme, a fly on the wall, to let things happen and just sit back and go, wow, that happened. And those are called gifts, and we receive those, and you must be aware when there's a gift to receive, and to smile and move on. The other side of the coin is working very, very hard on what may seem like simple music or simple parts, putting in long hours to develop something through maybe choice of instrumentation, arrangement. There's so many things in the studio to be thinking about sonically, emotionally, and there's some that think commercially, what's going to sell. I don't really come from that school, but I'm a consumer myself and stay very current in music, so I can't separate the listener in me from wanting to be happy as well as a consumer. So I think really the true measure of a great production is to balance what the artist brings and what you can bring to the artist as a producer to bring out even more of that essence. So clearly that's the end result of a great production, when you can bring out even more than the artist knew they had. It's fun. So as a producer, I'm here to see, like I was saying, the vision through of what the artist really is about. Whether they know it or not, sometimes they don't really know what their real vision is. And takes working with a third party such as myself to reveal that and then make the most of what that can be. So it's really about the artist first, and I hope my skill set is such that I can make any record that they need to make, be it a pared down sort of unplugged approach or a complete orchestral soup to nuts 1001 instruments. Some songs need this, some need the other, and a lot are in between. So flexibility is a big key to my role, and not being too tied to myself as an artist. It's the artist's picture on the album, not mine.
Though it should maybe.
I got in trouble.
Though
one time.
we should maybe have that,
and,
actually.
And the artist ended up putting my picture on the album.
I think we'll do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's happened?
We're gonna get you a shot of you with the
Oh,
surfboard.
sure we are.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
So these are questions from our audience on Facebook. How do you know when a song is done?
Instinct. You just know. As a painter knows when they put the last brush on. Voila, look at that. You stand back, you look at it, it's all there. It's not a thought process. It's really just a feeling. So it can be described, and there are many that do, as to exactly what that finished product has to have. But I don't approach it from that perspective. I think it reveals itself when it's done. Yeah. It pops out like a baby.
Next question for our Facebook friends.
Hopefully
Okay.
not so bloody. Depending on what kind of music you're making, I suppose.
As a multi-instrumentalist, how do you choose what instruments make an appearance? That's a
Right,
question.
that can be difficult. That's why at Tiki Town I have all the instruments, not all of them, but a lot of instruments up on the wall. I'll just be gazing out the wall and, oh, that one hasn't been played in a while. What's a trombone going to sound like on this thing? That's one way. But again, I think it's instincts. What you hear sonically is available to you if you have the instruments at hand, which, again, spoiled brat, I have a lot of instruments that make a lot of different sounds, and the ability to be able to play them. Not a virtuoso on hopefully any. I don't quite like virtuosity in music, my own taste. I understand technique, and mostly what I understand is arrangement. And what arrangement means is why that part would go with that part, that goes with that part, that goes with that part, times 200. And building a record means understanding the first part is going to have, it's sort of like building the foundation of a house. It's going to support all this, that, and the other that comes on top. So the vision early on is to understand all the instrumentation, maybe not all, but a primary goal as to what type of production you're going after. And you begin construction with doing that. It can be amazingly simple parts. Simple, simple, simple. But enough of these simple little parts put together and making hooks makes for incredible records, as opposed to virtuosity and technique over real substance.
What is a good day in Tiki Town?
This day, this very day, every day, I gotta say. It's never been a bad one, but today finds us mixing, doing a couple tunes, and there's an energy to every piece of the project. When you're coming in fresh and you're starting a project and doing basic tracks, it's a very high energy thing. You're working on drums and rhythm section, and it's based in a lot of sort of oomph for this driving surf music that we're doing. And then the overdub process is a little more chilled, and doing vocals a little more chilled, and then the big change really happens coming out of the performance mode into the mixing mode, which is still a performance, if you will, but it's more about summing up all the parts we've cataloged to become one sound. And yes, it's stereo, you can tell there's two sounds, right, left, but really it's about the impact of the one. So all those instruments and all that wonderful ear candy you put on only means something if the one is appealing and is beyond what your expectations were going in. That to me is the measure of a finished record. This is like better than we'd ever anticipated. Okay, I think we're there.
All right, last question. Okay, here's the last question from that came in. What's the okay? So, what's the you can either the two parts. You can either do one or the other. Okay.
All right.
Okay. What's the biggest challenge on creating Post Surf, or what was the biggest challenge on working with Tim?
Well, luckily I never had the word Post Surf stuck in my mind. I haven't wrapped my head around what that means. It could mean something different to every person that hears that term, frankly. Lovely butterfly, I hope you saw that. I was thinking surfability for young Tim Lang, and that word stuck in my mind throughout the course of making the entire album, because every song should fit very well with the collection of that they're going to be served together on a platter, as one's album should, as opposed to a series of best of that could be singles of all different shapes, sizes, sounds, and colors. We get very diverse in our swinging all over the place on this record, but it's always got that straight arrow of knowing this record belongs to this place and time where Tim is now, and I think every song definitely has that element that you can draw that line. If you were to hear that a song off this album, you would know it's a song off this album, as opposed to the last album you made or another era of your career, even if it was last year. You evolve, the production should evolve, the records are different. Again, playing to your strengths. And I think as far as Tim Lang personally, there isn't a nicer guy on the planet. Who wouldn't want to spend a day with Tim Lang making music? I mean, is there a better, I haven't found any better way in my career. He's the nicest guy I've ever worked with, and his gifts are self-evident. Listen to the record, you tell me.
Closing words?
I'd love to know. What do you think? Please.
Closing words.
This is a sad affair. This is a very sad affair. We're coming to a close. I'm asked to give closing words. It's like a ceremonial end to the project itself, which we know is only a continuum. So we've begun a project. We came to this place where we're mixing a couple songs. Plenty more to do on the project. But for now, we kiss and say goodbye until next time. And I hope that next time is soon. All right, baby. See you in a minute. We in the right spot?